businesses across the state that there was really a gap in coverage for small businesses. So we worked with our friends at Anthem to put together something that we thought would really kind of bridge that gap, would really be a benefit to people. And so currently we're very pleased to say that we have nearly 50,000 lives, 50,000 Georgians are participants in this program. So if that's not a testimony to the success of the program, I don't know what is. Will and I are actually participants of the program ourselves, so we can let you know how much we enjoy it. The reason that we think that the Georgia SMART program is so beneficial is that one of my favorite components is that it gives you the opportunity to work with your local brokers. And so David will go into all the details on that, but just wanted to point out that it's been wildly successful. We've seen businesses save up to 30% on their premiums. And so overall, it's just really a great opportunity for you to be able to provide coverage for your employees, or it's a great retention and recruitment opportunity for the chamber itself. So Cindy, if you've got any questions about that, we'll talk about it. But otherwise, since you've already seen the video, I think it would be most appropriate to just turn it over to David to tell us a little bit more.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for having me today. And I don't see anybody eating, so you guys must eat really, really quickly. That's all I have to say. So, but no, out of all sincerity, thank you guys for allowing me the opportunity to be on, and this great present to everybody, to let everybody know about this great program that we have to offer. To add to what Tiffany was stating, over 65% of our book of business is now on the chamber plan. And that is a huge attribute to everybody that is on it. And it's been now going on 3 years that we've actually had this policy into effect. So if that gives you any inclination as to what it can actually do for you, it's great opportunity, needless to say. With that being said, I wasn't sure, Cindy, did you want me to share my screen on my end, or do you want to open up the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation on your end? Whichever one's easier.
You know what? I copied the link for the video, but not the presentation. So hold on 1 second. We're gonna let you.
No worries. I can do it on my end. If you can just give me the screen sharing capability.
There you go. Okay. You may have to talk a little bit louder. We're kind of in the noisy room.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let me look for this real quick, and then I will share it with you. Goodness gracious, it's not coming up right now. Let's do this. You think by now with COVID and doing many of these presentations, I would be well versed on everything, right? So sorry. For some reason, it is not coming up on my screen. Let me try opening this back up again.
Okay, give me just a second.
Yep, so sorry. Oh, there it is. Now finally populated.
No, that's me.
We're recording it. We will fix it.
Can everybody see this?
Yes, we see you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Can you see the screen of the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so without further ado, so the Georgia SMART Plan and what it is. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Georgia SMART Plan and the capabilities of what it has to offer, it is a plan that looks and feels identical to a fully insured type of arrangement, which is what you typically find through your Affordable Care Act plans. But the benefit of it is you are able to take advantage of not only the rate structure and the individualized premium, but at a severe discount, depending on how your risk profile of the group falls. And we'll get into more details pertaining to that here in a second. But it's typically only available within the large group market, but again, it's available to you within the small group market, which is a huge attribute to the plan itself. So the SMART plan is a small group multi-employer ASO rated trust. That basically goes back to the fact that it would typically be available to the large group market and being available to the small group market. And in layman's terms, in the larger group market segment, what ends up happening is they have the opportunity of becoming self-funded or an association where they can leverage, they basically pay for their own claims costs. And so depending on how well their individualized group performs, would determine on how much they would have to pay, and they would take care of all of that. Now with this plan, you don't have to worry about any of that as a small group employer. You're able to take advantage of again, one singleized premium. The rates don't adjust unless at the time of renewal based off of the own claims experience. And the benefits offered are not only inclusive to medical, but they're also medical, dental, vision, et cetera. So the advantages of the program, as I mentioned, excuse me, they're more affordable for employers. Sometimes this might be an opportunity to offer group coverage where group coverage wasn't made available before in the past. As Tiffany mentioned earlier, the rates can be anywhere about 30%. The average is between 20 to 45%, quite honestly. But it is a huge benefit of anybody coming onto the plan to offer those additional savings over the Affordable Care Act plans. For those that aren't familiar with how Affordable Care Act plan is rated, to get an understanding of why this plan is phenomenal.
Can I interrupt you just a minute? If you could speak up just a little louder. I don't know if Tiffany is having the same issue, but your voice is going in and out here. So I don't know if it's our connection or yours, or if you can project into the next room, you'll be better.
Cindy, I found one thing. I've had this issue happen. It's a lot of times there are filters in your setting or his setting. So it's adjusting to the rise.
Right, but we're muted.
We're muted. Okay, so it's not up.
All right, let me try. Is this a little bit better? Awesome. All right, so the plans themselves under the arrangement, under the Affordable Care Act arrangement, would basically take into account the amounts based off of somebody's age and gender, and across the board, the rates would be provided. With this plan, however, we not only take into account the age and the demographics, the gender, but we also look at the individual's zip code and as well as their date of birth. And the reason for it is we put them through the group through what is called GRX underwriting. And there isn't any additional information that needs to be provided aside from what's already provided on the template. But that allows us the opportunity of diving into a little bit more of the specifics to determine the appropriate rate for the risk of the business that we're receiving. So that's a huge benefit. Again, that's only typically available with the large group market that's available through this plan. And because of that, that's what has allowed us to get these rates so competitive within the market to really be offered within the small group realm. And now, as I mentioned, it's predictable and fixed monthly payments. So the premium does not adjust. It stays flat until the next renewal cycle. And then at that time, we'll reevaluate to determine where the rates need to be. Now, the average increase that has happened under this policy has been about 8 to 10% over the course of the last 3 years, which that may seem to be a little bit high, but the average increase within the Affordable Care Act market sits around 12 to 15%. So it sits a little bit higher within that realm. And obviously what we'd like to do and what we are doing is really controlling the risk of the business by those being on this platform that's available to everybody. So we wanted to make sure that we weren't limiting the plans that were available to everybody. The same plan designs that are available through the Affordable Care Act plan are available through, and the most popular plans are the ones we chose, are those that are available through the Chamber of Commerce as well. Those policies, again, look and feel identical to ACA, and the fact that you're able to go to any provider you choose to through a POS open access network, and you're able to choose from the RX drug formulary that's also available through there as well. Again, nothing different in those regards. So who's able to take advantage of it is anybody that's domiciled within the state of Georgia. And as long as you have between 2 to 50 size employees on the group. Now, we do require that 75% excluding valid waivers, so that means anybody that has coverage through any other means, has to participate on the policy. Now, that is really the only disclaimer in order for you to be offered the coverage. And brokers such as Wanda and Tim will be able to dive into more of the specifics as to being able to help you and get a quote for you if you decide to go with them or another trusted appointed agent with us as well. So, but since they're in the room, we want to make sure that obviously they're a great asset for you guys to take advantage of it as well. So, I mentioned before that we're not only going to be providing a medical quote or just medical, but we also provide dental, vision, long-term disability, short-term disability, as well as life insurance. So that's also a benefit that's available to you that may not have been available to you before in the past. And we also want you to make sure that as taking advantage of that, we're also going to provide you a deeper discount on the medical benefits. So if you were to pick up a dental policy, you'd be saving an additional 1% off your medical rates. And if you were to select a vision, short-term disability, long-term disability, and or life, you'd be saving an additional 0.5% off of your medical rates as well. So again, just an additional benefit add-on that we wanted to make sure you're able to take advantage of. I'm going to skip this because we really touched on already through the presentation. I mentioned this already as well. Now, and with the exception of, we do ask, and it seems like you are, because you probably wouldn't be if you weren't in the room, but that you must be a member in good standing with the Georgia Chamber of Commerce through a local participating chamber. So as long as you're a member through a Chamber of Commerce, that is the only item that we ask that you become a part of in order to take advantage of the policy. So we offer 19 medical plan designs, and in which most of them are going to be the POS open access plan. Stands for point of service. And basically, you're allowed to see any provider you choose to, in network, out of network, in or out of states, in or out of country, completely at your discretion, as well as 3 health savings account plans. Now, the same thing is applicable with the health savings account plans, in which you're able to take advantage of the same type of providers available to you as well. So as I mentioned before, you're able to take advantage of the special rates by joining, includes the dental division. And now one of the things worth mentioning is the specialty and the medical are invoiced separately. So as an employer, you're going to receive obviously 2 different invoices, depending, one for medical and the other one's going to be for your dental, vision, life, etc. But we want to make sure that your identification cards all include the same, the same information on it. So they're all combined. So that way you're not having to pull out multiple different cards if in fact you decide to enroll in not only the medical, but also the other products. So if you're currently with us today, thank you very much, first and foremost. But you are in fact able to qualify for the chamber plan upon renewal. Now, what will happen is upon your renewal, we'll take a look and determine based off of the risk profile of your group if in fact you're a good candidate for the chamber plan. Now, everybody will receive rates, but obviously the rates may or may not be higher than the Affordable Care Act rates that you'll be offered at the time of renewal as well. So just keep that in mind, that we don't exclude anybody, but it really is something you need to take a look at obviously at the time of your renewal as to whether or not it's something you want to pursue. So ultimately, at the end of the day, we're looking to save you money through the policy. And as I mentioned before, Maybe this is your first time being able to offer coverage. So this is a great advantage of being able to take, or something to take advantage of, I should say. And from a chamber standpoint, obviously it helps you with retention of members and obtaining new members as well. Now, with that being said, there's various different pieces of literature, and one of the things I'll touch on through a different slide here in a second is something you can take a look at your leisure, and also dive into more specifics as to the benefit of the product designs that we have to offer. So let me open up the other slide real quick here. Can everybody see this?
David, we're still seeing the, oh, there it is.
There it is. Okay, thank you. So this is a great little flyer to really take a look at for you. I'm not sure how big the screen is on that end, but just to give you a quick highlight overview of it. It discusses a lot of the things that we discussed here today pertaining to the competitive rates, the fixed monthly payments, the people access to that network, as well as available different plan options. Also touches on the programs that we have to offer, such as a 24/7 nurse line. And something that's worth mentioning pertaining to that program is that we offer that the first 12 visits at no additional cost to you. So if you were to contact, and let's say you're sitting at the house and you're not sure if something is an emergency, or if you just want something looked at because you've got a cough going on, or maybe sinus infection, what have you, that's an additional opportunity to take advantage of. That comes at no additional cost to you for the first 12 visits. And that's actually, and I'm sorry, I said that was a 24/7 nurse line. That is actually going to be the Live Health Online. And then there's also various different FAQs that are included on here for you to take a look at, and goes into a little bit more of the specifics that weren't discussed here today as well. And one other piece to share. Can everybody see that? Beautiful. All right, so this is one of our product guides here that touches on all the available products that are available through the chamber policy. Depending on where your business is domiciled, you will also see the available EPO plans that are available through it. And that basically is a little bit more of a restricted network, but it gives you a little bit of a deeper savings. So if you don't have many individuals that are traveling in or out of the surrounding area, that might be a good secondary plan offering for you. And as part of the proposal, if it's something that we feel that would meet the needs based off of where you're domiciled as a group, it'll be included on the proposal. If not, you will see that it will actually include all the other POS plans, the 19 others that we discussed or that I mentioned earlier. And just to skim over it, the plan offerings vary from a $1,500 deductible policy and to even much higher if you choose to actually enroll into like a $6,500. So we have many different plan options that are available to you and the employees. Now, one of the things I did not mention that is definitely worthy of mentioning is we do require that the employer pay 50% of the employee-only premium. And that is a standard across the board for all of our plan offerings. If you choose to pay differently to different classifications of employees, or contribute differently, that is completely your discretion, but with the minimum is in fact 50%. The other item is, as I mentioned, you have to join your local Chamber of Commerce. And with the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, you would have to obviously pay the annual dues that are available through that you have to pay on an annual basis. but there is an additional charge of $5 per employee per month. Now, that additional charge of the $5 per employee per month takes care of the self-insured type fees that one would experience and have to pay to the federal government as a result of it, because these plans, while they look and feel identical to an ACA fully insured policy, are in fact self-insured policies in which the Georgia Chamber of Commerce is the backer of the plan. So that is a $5 per employee per month amount. Aside from that, there aren't any additional fees, if you will, other than taking advantage of the additional steep discounts that are being offered under the policy, and just coming on board with us. Now, there is, depending on when you come on board, you will also be offered either a short contract cycle or long contract at this point. Starting with November 1st effective dates, you're able to take advantage of a long contract cycle, which means that you will not renew until 4/1/23. Now, starting as of if you were to enroll effective 9/1 or 10/1, that's going to be in a short contract cycle, and that will renew 4/1/22. So here in the next couple of months, you have one great opportunity ahead of you as far as joining the being part of the policy, in which you can be offered, obviously, the extended contract cycle. And with that, are there any questions that anybody has? I have a tendency to go over a lot of information really quickly, so my apology if I skimmed over some things.
You just need 2 people enrolled.
That's correct. You just need 2 people enrolled.
Unless they're husband and wife, correct?
What's that?
Unless it's spouses, if it's husband and wife.
That's exactly where I was going with that. That's correct.
Sole proprietors have, typically a spouse as an officer in the company.
Correct. So with a husband and wife, they cannot be the only 2 employees on the policy in order for you to enroll on the chamber plan. Now, an additional employee, you could in fact enroll them onto the policy as long as you have an additional employee on the plan as well.
Yep. Too many. What about former employees is there a way to continue their healthcare insurance if someone say retires out? If they're no longer an active employee?
No, unfortunately not. They have to be an active employee on the policy and or a business owner on the policy in order to maintain coverage.
David, under the chamber plan, if they have more than 20 on the plan, and they would have cover rights, correct?
I heard it, if you have more than 20 on the plan, and then I lost the end of that.
They would be subject to cover at that point, correct?
That's correct. Yes. So federal cover would be applicable after 20 lives.
So then at that point, if they had more than 20 on the group, they could be even for 18 months or 36 months in the case of no grade.
That is absolutely correct.
Anybody else have questions for David? And I will say that I'm sure I'll be working with Tiffany down the road, that the Georgia Chamber sends us a list of these businesses so that we get to verify their membership, know that they're current. We maintain the membership with the Georgia Chamber. So we're the connectivity between the Georgia Chamber and the local chamber. Tiffany,
From a local chamber perspective, I was a local chamber director in my community, and we had members who joined our chamber not because they needed the services of the chamber, but that they needed the eligibility for the SMART plan. So just from a membership perspective, it was a great tool for us to have in our toolkit, just another benefit that we could offer to our members. So you're never going to turn down anyone's check who calls and says, hey, I just need to send you a check so I can qualify for this program. Hey, you got it. We're happy to serve you.
Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate your time today. Sorry we had some technical difficulties hearing a little bit, but I do have copies of your presentation, the videos, the handouts. They have got the local brokers here they connect with, so we'll be able to answer questions hopefully if any arise.
Wonderful. I hope that I'm able to get to your community soon and meet all of you. But otherwise, thank you so much for inviting us today. I know that David will, and I appreciate the opportunity. And if I can ever be of assistance for the Georgia Chamber, either for a SMART plan or the 401k exchange plan or anything rural related, just reach out to me. Cindy has my information, or it's available on our website.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate your time.
You ladies from Insurance Brokers of Georgia and Tim. Sorry, did I get your question again? Genesis. Why do we have this? We have trifocal, yes, yes. But if y'all have any insights you want to mention.
Well, locally, we have had groups that have wanted the chamber plan, and it encouraged folks, you know, that we were able to write them with a better rate.